So we just had these 3 problems on the back. This is another rule, a very important rule. A lot of students forget how to do this one. So these directions evaluate. Your answer should only contain positive exponents. That positive there is extremely important. You're going to see that exact same wording on your test. If you leave any of your answers like the way these 3 problems look with a negative exponent, you will lose a point because that is an improper answer. So let's look at how to fix that. I'm going to zoom in closer on number 10. This is kind of a hard one to explain, so I'm just going to show you first, then we'll talk about how to explain that. Guys, quiet please. I'm giving the notes. You need to stop talking. Write this down. So we're going to make a fraction. And you're going to put a 1 on the top of that fraction. And then you're going to take this entire thing, all of it, and put it on the bottom of that fraction. When we do this, we can magically drop the negative, and now it just becomes a positive 2. So again, just for emphasis, our answer is 1 over x squared. The x squared is part of the fraction. I have a lot of students who are just making the exponent of fraction instead. That's incorrect. The whole thing becomes a fraction. And that's all we can do for this one since we just have a variable. On the side here, I'm going to write down basically what I just did. When you have a negative exponent, put the entire term in the bottom of a fraction to make it positive, to make the exponent positive. Guys, quiet down. We're still in notes. If you have a question, raise your hand and ask. Otherwise, please stop talking. Number 11, we're going to take a look at another one that involves a number and not just a variable. 5 to the negative third power. Same idea. We don't want a negative in the exponent, so we need to get rid of it. We do that by introducing a fraction. Put a 1 on the top. The entire term gets put on the bottom. And now we can drop the negative and just say 5/3. 5 to the third. Now this is an actual number we can actually get an answer to, so don't just leave it as 5 cubed. Actually figure out what that number is. That's what the calculators are for. Regardless of what your calculator looks like, this will be done the same way. We're going to have a 5, and then when you have an exponent that's higher than 2, we have to use the caret button. That's this little arrow. So when I hit that, now you can see the caret on my calculator. And then the 3, 5 cubed, 125. That is our final answer. Yes.
Why does the negative go away after you put a 5 in?
It's just the rule. It's how it works. I really can't explain it any better than that. I'm sorry. But
If you plug into your calculator 5 to the negative third, you're going to get 1 over 125.
yes.
But the rule for flipping it is just to move it to the opposite side.
Yes. We got one more, number 12. 49 to the negative 1/2. A lot of students often confuse the rules for the fraction exponents and for the negative exponents, so it's good to look at one of these as well. So again, we're going to put it under 1. The entire thing goes on the bottom. 49 to the negative, or sorry, positive 1/2 now. Negative is gone. Again, we have numbers on the bottom and only numbers, so we are able to actually type this into the calculator and figure out what it is. So let's do that. (49 to the 1/2). Again, we're going to use that caret symbol. For good measure, I always use parentheses. As long as you use the ABC button, you should be fine, but if you opt for the division button, you must use parentheses. So, just to cover everything, all possible cases, I'm going to use parentheses. 1 ABC 2, close parentheses. The calculator understands that that's 49 to the 1/2, and that's just going to be 7. So that becomes a 7 on the bottom. When you do that, don't type the entire fraction in, like the 1 over that. Just do the bottom part. That often leads to mistakes. And then just fill in what you need to.